Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge Day 44. Almost right. What's the word? Rounding up this season. It's funny when I forget words. So today, if you spell out self-care in the acronym, the letter E stands for emotions. And if you spell out the acronym of Best You, the E is also stands for emotions. So both focus on emotions for the fact that emotions are huge. We as human beings, as I mentioned before, that we are habitual creatures and we are definitely in some ways guided by and or just dictated by or pushed and pulled by our emotions. It really just depends on where we're at in our journey process, right? Our healing process and our journey. I didn't have a lot to talk about today in transparency. I've not journaled. Been up bright and early, the meditation, did some clearing. And yeah, I'm like super mellow. So, but I didn't want to not come on. Still doing the 7-day chakra healing challenge. Today is day 2, so day 2 of 7. Hopefully, I'll see you there. If you have any questions, I've seen, quite a few people have already watched the replay for day 1. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. Use the comment section. I'm about to go in there and start replying to some of the comments that I have seen. And again, we're up for day 2. So today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can join me back here or at theenergyhealingschool.com in the learning portal for day 2 of 7, the sacral chakra. So again, I'm not going to go deep on the sacral chakra today as we're going to do that on the challenge, right? However, just talking a little bit about emotions because again, they are so important. I wish I knew. If you know who coined the term that emotions are energy in motion, please let me know because I wish I knew and totally give them credit, but I don't know. I've heard the statement, but I don't know who actually coined it. But how true is that? So when we think of manifesting and we think of our emotions, how we feel about what we're asking for, or whether we even know it or not, right? So we have those thought patterns that we'll talk more about tomorrow. Those habitual thought patterns, our programs, those conditions, right? What we've been conditioned to think in our life journey as a human being, and how they become so repetitive, and how they're kind of our go-to thing, right? They just seem so natural, but they're not always real or accurate. It's just what we've assumed or thought or believed was real all this time, right? So we can change that, which is a beautiful thing. So changing some of those thought patterns, which then affects our emotions and how we feel. And when we change those emotions, then we can clear, right? As we talked about yesterday, getting grounded into our bodies, getting grounded and centered with the earth, right? When we are in that position and we're grounded and we're centered, then our emotions feel more balanced. They don't seem like so wonky or chaotic or extreme one way or another. Now, most of us like the one side, right, where we get really excited. However, if we crash from that excitement, then that's pretty harsh. Makes me think of those extremes of depression and anxiety, right? We have that anxiety that brings you way up and you're like, yeah, you feel like you're so full of energy, you just got to keep on going or you're going to burst. And then when you finally calm down, it's like, boom, hard crash, just you want to sleep, you know? So when we get grounded and centered and we're changing those thought patterns, our emotions get more regulated. We can be more mindful of what they are. We can be in observer mode, right? Know what they are, call them out. We're not dismissing them, avoiding them, minimizing them. We're just not being dictated by them. We're taking more of that lead, and we being our highest self, right? That energy of spirit, pure spirit, unconditional love, allowing our soul, our spirit to take the lead and not that humanness where it can be chaotic and wonky. Excuse me. So again, with that, putting emotion or motion behind all of that, depending on what emotions you're feeling and then what you're focusing on, how we end up creating more of the same, right? So we talk about those cycles and patterns and things and how we manifest with that, how we put our focus on something and how we get that energy the emotion behind it to really feel into it. And that can work in our favor, or I want to say in a way against us, right? Depending again on what we're focusing on, where we're putting all that energy and all that. Yeah, all that energy to push that motion, get us in motion. What else do we want to say? Again, don't avoid those feelings. So when those emotions come up, I call them out. That's what I say. Call them out. Not in a bad way, but identify them, name them, be aware of what it is you're feeling. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you're feeling something and you're like, I don't know what this is? You're trying to find the words. Like I've even Googled like emotion words and try to find what word kind of fit what I was feeling because I wasn't sure. I could give like a range. It kind of fits between this and this. It's not really this, but it's weird in a way. But doing that allowed me to get in that observer mode, right? So then I wasn't really being pushed and pulled by it or just sucked into it or kind of caught in confusion because I didn't know what it was in addition to whatever it was. There's that effort in observing to be able to identify it. So even just taking that time is like distracting the ego, distracting the thought patterns to do something differently. So identify what you're feeling, what those emotions are, whether they're fantastic, excitement, and amazing or not. Either one is fine. No blame, shame, or guilt. The mindfulness activities we talked about yesterday with really grounding into our bodies, excuse me, using our five senses is amazing for our emotions. It worked really, really well when I did counseling therapy for people who would call in. You know, we could do phone call check-ins every now and again that were really feeling anxious and talking through, like asking those questions. Tell me what you see. Describe it. Give me the details of it, right? What do you feel right now? What's around you? What touch it? What does it feel like? Getting those details really helped bring their anxiety levels down. They were able to verbalize it, and you could hear the difference, right? Sometimes you can be very aware of what anxiety can look like in another person and even yourself. Another quick tip on anxiety is lavender essential oil. Just smell it. Smell lavender. It's amazing. So I've known people as well to put lavender, like carry it in a bag with them or a purse or whatever it may be, their pocket even. And when they notice their anxiety levels coming up, like pulling out or stress levels, whatever name you want to give it, pulling out the lavender essential oil and smelling it and just, it's very calming. It's very soothing. That's another way we can manage emotions. So when you think of the energy in the sacral chakra, think of our emotions. Are they well balanced? Or do they feel chaotic, right? Are they up and down and all over the place? Or can you really identify what you're feeling in the moment? And you'd have an idea then of what the energy is like in your sacral chakra. So if you've been taking my 7-day chakra healing challenge, or if you've taken it before, what I had called a cheat sheet in the past, excuse me, an itch. I haven't quite changed the name and uploaded the update yet, but we'll call it a handout, chakra healing handout. Some things we can do to help us balance and clear the energy in our sacral chakra, right? So healing hands, for one, like literally just put your hand on your sacral chakra, any of them. But again, today we focus on the sacral. So just laying your hand below your belly button on the lower part of your abdomen and let the body do what it does. Let the energy align. And you can rest it there for as long as you want. You can do that anywhere too, and no one would probably think a thing of it, right? It's in one of those places where if you were sitting, you could just relax and let your hands sit in your lap, leaning towards or up against your lower abdomen. Be fine. Color therapy, you can see I got lots of colors on today. Kind of like this shirt. But orange is the color that resonates with the sacral chakra. So you can wear clothes with orange in it or wear um, jewelry, crystals, stones, put the color orange, in your pockets. The solfeggio frequency that resonates with the sacral chakra is 417. I didn't think about the foods either. So back to the colors, you can eat or drink foods, juices that are the color orange. Again, solfeggio frequency, since I jumped ahead, for the sacral chakra is 417 hertz. And some affirmations or reflections for the sacral chakra is I feel, right? So reflecting inward, how do you feel? And again, when you think of emotions and your feelings when you're going to identify them, think of them as one word. So sometimes, and I do this too, as we're having a conversation, even with myself in my own mind, I could start rambling off sentences to like describe and explain what I'm thinking, but I say I feel, right? Well, I feel like blah, 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 blah. And that's really just telling a thought or giving more explanation. So when you're doing your reflections and affirmations, start with I feel and then just one word, right? I feel happy. I feel excited. I feel sad. I feel tired. I feel hungry, whatever it may be, right? And write those down. So again, the affirmations, what feeling? So I know I've seen comments like on Facebook and whatnot and different debates on emotions. So, and how we see ourselves, right? Our self image. Again, this isn't blame, shame, and guilt, and it's not to avoid or deny ourselves from feeling emotions, whether we like to feel them or not, right? Just the opposite, actually, on giving yourself permission to feel whatever it is you're feeling, just identify what it is, but also not staying stuck in feelings that are very low vibe, right? That can bring you down or suck you into depression or that feeds anxiety or feeds more stress or feeds more overwhelm, right? That's not what we're doing. I'm not okay with leaving you there, just not. No blame, shame, and guilt for what you feel. But then what is one step? It could be baby steps. What is one step that we can take to feel better if we are feeling low? And that's all I mean by say affirmations. And the other way to look at it is if you are intentionally focusing on a manifestation, right? You've set a goal and you're really going for it and you're trying to use your energy in motion, right, to build the vibration, the frequency towards that manifestation intentionally, then use those words for your affirmation. What are those words that you want to feel to help you increase your vibration towards that manifestation? Hope that makes more sense. And then elemental healing, the element, excuse me, of our sacral chakra is water. Water is so cleansing, but when you think of emotions too, I always think of like the waves in the sea or the river or the lake or anywhere, but just how it can flow, right? Sometimes we have some crashing waves, just like we do with emotions, and sometimes it's nice and still. Either way, our emotions can flow and they can change and they can shift, and we aren't helpless to them, right? I've shared before, there was a time when I thought that my emotions controlled me and it's just the way it was and there's nothing I could do about it. That wasn't entirely true. I just didn't know what I could do about it at the time, right? So remind yourself of that if you've been kind of feeling the same. And it's not to add pressure on self and start being, because egos is not to beat yourself up like, "Ah, you know you could do something different, but you choose to stay stuck in this. La, 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 la." Don't do that either. Like, meet ourselves with love and compassion, right? Use the information, use the things that we know as empowerment to encourage ourselves, to be supportive of ourselves, to allow ourselves the ability to, one, feel whatever we're feeling and feel it to heal it, not to deny it and avoid it or dismiss it, but also, two, to not get stuck there, right? Not get sucked down and get stuck. What is it that we need? What is the next step for us? And we don't need other people to choose it for us, right? We can sit with ourselves and just feel into it. And what is it that we need that we can offer ourselves? And sometimes it's just that, just a quiet moment or hug yourself. It might seem weird, but if you're by yourself, no one needs to know. Just be gentle with yourself, right? All right, I think we are good for today. Just wanted to check in, be supportive still on the journal for myself and for you. And a reminder, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, which is the fourth Tuesday, fourth Tuesday of September for the life second day two words, day two of seven of the 7-day chakra healing challenge, where we are going to focus more, go deeper into the sacral chakra and how we can keep that clear and balanced and what some symptoms are that let us know when the energy in our sacral chakra is a little bit off. So I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time in the world it is for you. Thank you for sharing your time and space. For those who hopped in and out of the live and who come back for the replay, I love that energy is not bound to time or space, so that we can show up for ourselves and we get to hear what we need to hear whenever it is that we need to hear it. Take good care. I will see you so soon.